The Force is with you, young Skywalker. You are not a Jedi yet.
Hey, what up, guys? This is Dupree, aka Darth Hater here, and this is my Book of Boba Fett Episode 2 breakdown. Now, this so far has been my favorite episode. I easily can give this episode a 7 out of 10 compared to the last episode, which I still did like. It really felt like old Star Wars to me, and I know you guys loved it as well. I kept seeing all the comments and everything and all the reactions all over social media. There are a lot of deep cuts in this episode, so let's go over and break them down, shall we? So the episode starts with Fennec Shan and one of the guards that are wearing the red jumpsuits walking towards Jabba, aka Boba's palace. We see the door opening just like it did for Luke in Return of the Jedi. We found out that the assassin is part of the Nightwind clan. I love this part because Fennec basically fools this guy into thinking he's going to be eaten by the Rancor and gives it up saying that the mayor sent him to kill Boba. Boba and Fennec then travel to Mos Espa and then make a visit to the mayor. Immediately upon arrival, the assassin is killed. The mayor says he does not operate outside of Hutt space, and this is the reason they shoot him. So up until now, this is a legal act. The mayor is an Ithorian, and his actual name is Muk Shaiz. If you guys recognize the Ithorians, they were the aliens that were in the cantina from Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope. And more recently, you can see one at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Doc Onder is actually a Ithorian as well. The mayor then gives Boba some tribute, which actually isn't money, it's advice. Running family or being a daimyo is more important or harder than being a bounty hunter. And I think he says this because Boba doesn't realize that aside from bounty hunting, being a crime lord is a little more difficult. You don't know who's going to backstab you. You don't know what family is going to turn on you. At least with being a bounty hunter, it's cut and dry. Somebody pays you for a job, you do the job, you get paid. The mayor sends Boba to Garza Sanctuary to seek all the answers that he needs to find out who was actually trying to kill him. He actually finds out that the Hutts have reclaimed Tatooine, and it's actually the cousins of Jabba the Hutt. We then hear drums and then the entrance of the Hutts. They're being carried by Nitos and a couple of Twi'leks and a few humans, or it's kind of funny watching them all carry these two big massive Hutt twins. They then tell Boba that Tatooine is now theirs, which Boba replies he doesn't care. The Hutts laugh at Boba, and who should show up? Black Krrsantan. Now, if you guys don't know who this is one of the major bounty hunters in the Marvel Star Wars run, the canon Marvel Star Wars run. He shows up as early as the first Vader comic books. He's there actually working with Boba Fett. He even has a few ties to a lot of really key players in Star Wars, from Vader to Obi-Wan to Luke, Han, and Leia. Black Krrsantan is a major character in the comic books, so I was extremely excited to see him pop up and stare Boba down, since they have a long history. The Hutts basically say if we kill you now, it's gonna be bad for business, so sleep lightly. And that's crazy. Just for the second episode, all this to go down, things just got really crazy and really real for Boba. What does Boba do after this? He goes back to his palace, and then he goes to sleep or goes back into his bath to heal. Now, I know a lot of people really don't like this, but this is basically how we're just going to keep getting backstory in the rest of this show. Like he says in the beginning of the show, back the dreams are back. We see Boba training with the gaffi stick with the Tusken female. The Tuskens are ambushed by a train controlled by the Pike Syndicate. Now they're getting shot at. A few of them actually die. They're shooting banthas. It looks like they're transporting spice through the Tuskens' territory. Now, if you guys don't know, the Pike Syndicate first started off in the Clone Wars. They're a race of aliens who run all the spice on Kessel. Now, if you guys don't know, spice is a drug that is smuggled and mined on Kessel. You can actually see it being mined in Solo, Star Wars story. Boba forms a plan to take the train down. At night, he actually sees the same men who attacked the homestead and stole the water from Episode 1. These are the same guys who actually used to work for Jabba the Hutt. So what does he do? He tracks them to none other place than Tashi Station. Now, if you guys don't know, Tashi Station is a spot that Luke Skywalker always complained about. He wanted to go to pick up the power converters. And in the deleted scenes from A New Hope, you can see Luke there with Biggs and a lot of his old friends. And the people here look like they might be Luke's friends from the deleted scene, which is a really, really deep cut. Boba actually defeats all the thugs, takes all the speeder bikes back to the Tuskens. Boba then teaches the Tuskens how to ride into battle on the bikes, as they're not accustomed to doing that. They ride into battle, take over the train. Boba eventually stops the train, and then they loot everything with all the goodies inside. Water, spice, supplies. Boba lays down the law. He basically tells the Pikes that every time they travel through the Tusken lands, they have to pay a fee. And then after that, he tells them he had to walk back in single file, a la just how Obi-Wan said the Tuskens actually walked to hide their numbers. And I love the scene because it shows Boba like has grown as a character, because before he was just this sideline menace who just shot at people, collected bounties, and was just a thug. But this really humanizes him. Like, you can really see the fact that he is really protective over the people who actually saved him from the Sarlacc pit, from dying in the desert. It makes his character development that much more better. We then see Boba and the Tuskens back at camp sitting around a fire, and the chief tells Boba about like the history of the Tuskens, the history of different tribes, how about some tribes survived by killing. And right when he said this, it made me think about the original Tuskens from episode 2, the ones who killed Shimmy Skywalker, the ones who were about to kill Luke in A New Hope. Kind of shows that this tribe that Boba actually found is like a lot more civilized and kind, so it's probably lucky he found these guys instead of the other one. The chief then gives Boba a present, which is a lizard, which then jumps up Boba's nose and takes him on the most psychedelic journey. We see scenes of Kamino, young Boba Fett holding Jango's helmet, all the while being wrapped up in a tree, which turns into the Sarlacc pit. And I feel like this is just Boba realizing that he doesn't want to live in the footsteps of his father, like, you know, the mantle of his dad Jango, so he wants to follow a new path, which is why I think he changes his reasoning from wanting to be a bounty hunter to a crime lord. Boba then breaks off a piece of the tree that he finds and is guided back into the village. The Tuskens give him new Tusken garb, which is actually the same robes that he's wearing in The Mandalorian Season 2 when we first see him. Then is led to build a new gaffy stick. Aside from getting lightsabers and everything else, I've never felt the need to want an actual gaffy stick until now. It was one of the most beautiful scenes that we could have had in this show, which was then followed by Boba and the Tuskens dancing a haka around the fire as the Tuskens accept Boba as one of their own. What a great ending to this episode. This, like I said before, was one of the most beautiful episodes of any Star Wars show. Well, we've only had 2, but this is like one of the most heartfelt, real, in-depth Star Wars episodes we could have gotten. I'm excited to see where we go from this, especially what was set up with the Hutts and the Wookiee bounty hunter. We can only look forward to more epicness. We have 5 more episodes, so let's see what we got going forward. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this. Take care. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notifications for all my latest videos. Catch you in the next one. May the Force be with you. Bye.